Today we're going to read The Yeti Who Came to Tea. It was written by Melanie Joyce, who's the author, and illustrated by Katya Longhi, who drew all the pictures. And on the back is the blurb, and it says, "When Billy hears a story about a mysterious figure called the Yeti, he can't wait to meet one. But Yetis don't exist, do they? Join Billy on his adventure to bring home a fun and hairy creature who gobbles up Brussels sprouts, snores loudly at night, and loves to bounce on the trampoline. Can you think of anyone else that might like to do any of those things? Across the sea, over the mountains, through the snow, sometimes the best friends are found in the most unlikeliest places." Once, Billy read a story that was exciting and a little bit scary, about a creature called a Yeti who was smelly, tall and hairy. No one had ever seen it. They said it could never be found because all it left behind were footprints on the ground. "Can we search for the Yeti?" Billy begged his dad one day. "I bet that we could find him and bring him back to stay." All right, said Dad with a sigh, "if you really insist, but I have to tell you honestly, I don't think Yetis exist." "What's he packing? Can you tell me what he's packing?" "I can see some Yeti snacks, which is some chocolate, a banana and an apple." "How exciting." Billy packed his bag and set off with his dad. "Have fun," said his mum, waving, thinking their plan was quite mad. They sailed across the sea, took a train and rode on a bus. Ding ding went the bell. Dad said, "This stop is for us." At the top of the mountain they found footprints in the snow. "Follow me," Billy said to Dad. "I know which way to go." At last they found the Yeti. He was huge and covered in fur. "What's your name?" asked Billy. The Yeti answered, is a lovely name," Billy said. "I'm very pleased to meet you, but it's freezing here. I want to go home. Why don't you come too?" Replied the Yeti, smiling. Billy took that as a yes, but what the Yeti really said was anybody's guess. What do you think he could have said? I think he might have said, "Maybe." Back home, Mum was shocked and said, "Oh dear, goodness me, I hadn't really thought about what a Yeti might eat for tea. Look at all the mess the Yeti's making." The Yeti ate pretty much everything, even Brussels sprouts, peas. He didn't use a knife or fork or say, "Excuse me, thank you," or "Please." Isn't he naughty? A naughty Yeti? Billy didn't mind that his new friend slobbered and slurped, or that he snored at night, smelled awful and often burped. Because the Yeti was so much fun, he just wanted to play. He didn't really understand why people kept running away. Why do you think people might have run away from the Yeti? The days passed by so happily and the two friends played together. They loved to go exploring and stayed out in all weather. The Yeti chased after Billy and bounced on the trampoline. "Woohoo!" shouted Billy, giggling. It was the highest he'd ever been. "How high can you go on a trampoline?" The Yeti smiled all the time until one night it began to snow. "He's missing his home," said Mum. "It's time for him to go." So the Yeti went back home. Billy felt lonely every day. He really missed his friend and wished he hadn't gone away. Then one morning in the mail, a postcard dropped on the mat. Was all it said, and that only a Yeti would write that. So Billy packed his suitcase and he went to visit his best friend, and he was very sure their friendship would never end. Look, they're having a lovely little picnic. Could you think of anything that you would take on a picnic?